Yeah, you know what? Thought we played pretty well on Friday night, and then on Saturday night, a little bit different story as far as a hard, heavy, older team. Kind of gave us a push there in the first period, and we had to find a way to get through that first period and eventually get to the power play, which was a big part of the win on Saturday night. So proud of the way our guys grew a little bit over the weekend, but know that we got to keep building and growing here against a very good Bemidji team here.
Coach, kind of with this weekend series, kind of how are you guys approaching this one? Home and home. Kind of, is there a change to that, to how you guys approach the weekend series?
No, not a whole lot. It's about our week ahead as far as how we have to, dial in every day and focus on the things we need to work on. And again, we need to work on a few different things to try to sharpen up. But, we are excited about going on the road. First time. Last year we went right into the pod and we had to play 10 games. Looked like it was on the road, and I think it brought our team together. And I think our guys are. It's going to be a tough environment. We know that. They play very well in their rink. Bemidji does. But, it's a situation where now we get to go on the road and try to experience that with a new group here. And again, we'll be prepared for it.
How important is it to have these games back, these non-conference games?
Yeah, very important. And again, I think I alluded to earlier last week in the press conference, we don't really look at them as non-conference games. We look at them like they're very impactful games, like we play in the NCHC, and they're critical for us to have success in to make the national tournament. So, they're a little bit more than just kind of looking at them like non-conference games. We look at them very seriously and don't take them for granted at all.
How important is it for this, this kind of new group to get thrown into a place like Bemidji for their first, away game of the season?
Yeah, you know what? I think there's a situation here where we're just a couple hours down the road, and very good team. Perennially every year, Bemidji is at the top or near the top of their conference. So they're a highly ranked team. It's a situation where we're going into a building where we know it'll be filled up, just like the Ralph, and they'll have a lot of their fans, but I'm sure we'll have some of our fans in there too, and it'll create for a great environment here. So just getting the experience for our new group here of being together and gelling together on the road. Obviously not getting ahead of ourselves, but we will have to go on the road the next weekend into Quinnipiac and then eventually into the Hall of Fame game in Nashville. So it's a nice way to start getting on the road and feeling that feel of playing away from the Ralph.
Zach played the one game against Bemidji State. How do you think he handled that?
Who's that? Sorry.
Zach just still playing against
Yeah.
the whole team. How do you think he handled that?
Yeah, you know what, and I think it's a situation of getting ahead of it early, right? I think us as a staff and him individually and collectively as a team on knowing that he spent time there and had a lot of success there, and I think what he does, Zach does, is he really kind of keeps even keel. You can just see the way he plays the game. He's very even keel in his approach, not too high, not too low. And I think he looks at it as another opposition and an opponent, and without kind of peeling back the layers and trying to create more than it is. So again, I think it's just his maturity, as far as him being in college hockey for a few years and just knowing that, hey, I just got to do my job and go out there, even though it's a team that I've been a part of for the last few years.
What's been your impression of his game so far? You guys see him play defense now?
Very competitive, very in control. Again, like some of the chances that we gave up over the last couple of weeks, he had to make key saves at key times early in games, and I think just his way that I'm going to try to stop the puck any way it is, whether it's a outnumbered approach, whether it's a deflection in front of the net. Like just his focus and determination is at a high level, and again, I think the games are going to get exponentially tougher here starting this weekend, and I think it's a situation where he doesn't read too much into it. It just it's another opponent here that I got to do my job.
First impression of Smalls after the weekend that he had, especially outside of it.
Yeah, you know what? He came in here with a very good body of work in the USHL. Played a third year of juniors, which really significantly helped him. Strength-wise, analytically, as far as putting up points in a very good league last year in the USHL. So we had him coming in, and with Jasper Weatherby departing last year, it kind of elevated him a little bit as far as opportunity and situations, whether it's 5-on-5 or power play. And he's taken advantage of it, and I think it's because he loves to come to the rink every day. He's a rink rat. He plays with pace and compete in his games, and he's starting to build some chemistry with Reese Gaber and Judd Caulfield here a little bit on that line in games and in practices. So again, I think it comes first and foremost of a young man that just loves the game, and maximizes every day he comes to the rink, and he's having a little bit of success early. And now for a young guy, it's about, you know, having no complacency and making sure that you start over and earn it every single day to build that consistency.
Speaking of Zach, maybe not read too much into this game. What about the rest of the team? Obviously, a ranked game coming up. How do you keep the rest of the guys, you know, just sort of focused on just another game?
Yeah, I think it's just looking at us. Like, we know we're playing against a very good Bemidji team, and we have ultimate respect for them as far as the way they play, their coaching staff, and the history that they've had success in college hockey. But we really internally look at our game, you know, and we really you know, kind of peel the layers back and see what we have to get better at on a weekly basis. And we know that, you know, if you you know, kind of rest on your laurels of winning a couple games last weekend, that ain't going to cut it. It's a situation where we're really accountable to ourselves, and knowing that we have to build and grow each and every day. And I think that's the beauty of our team. And it starts with our captains in that locker room, knowing that, hey, we gotta press this thing every day to try to maximize ourselves.
Brad, Gavin Hain back, so how's the competition for the other 5 spots on that bottom 6, if I can say?
Yeah, really good. You know, obviously Gavin, we missed him, you know, in our lineup. You know, even though, you know, we got a couple of wins under our belt, we did miss him in our lineup. You know, he brings a lot to our team, and, you know, he had a really good week of practice. He's ready to go, but that creates, like you said, competition with the other spots available on our team. And, you know, I think our guys, they respect each other, but they also are very competitive, and they want to be in the lineup. So we've had some really good spirited practices with some sharp execution. So again, like I said, that's the beauty of having depth and competition in your lineup. We'll need everybody this year. You know, you'll see that there'll be big bumps and bruises, and everybody will get into games. So, you know, if you're not in the lineup, you got to be patient, keep working, working to get there. And if you're in the lineup, you got to make sure that you keep executing and keep playing at a high level here.
He's played both special teams units for you guys in the past. Is there a possibility he jumps in and plays special teams right away?
Who, Gavin?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. You know, yeah, he's a big part of our penalty kill, and you know, we've got him spotted in one of the power play units too. We have Jackson Kuntz in that unit too, so they've kind of platooned back and forth in practice here. So, you know, having an experienced guy get an opportunity as a senior, which he deserves, and then having a young guy here too to try to fight for some ice time on the power play. So yeah, we've been moving some guys around, and Gavin's been one of them, trying to get some looks.
Lastly for me, you've seen Jasper make the team out of camp.
Yeah.
16 guys in all making the opening night rosters. What are your thoughts on seeing the NHL start and the guys you have?
First of all, very excited the NHL's up and going again. It's great to see. Very proud of everybody that's obviously playing pro hockey. Those 16 guys that have a chance to wear a NHL jersey, that's very humbling, you know, and that they came through North Dakota here. You know, with Jasper, you know, alluding to him, you know, it was a situation where he went to a development camp, and they looked at him and said, hey, we think you can make our team. And, you know, that's our job here at North Dakota. We're here to bring young men in here, to send them out as great people with a college degree and have a chance to play in the NHL. And, you know, that was a lifelong goal of Jasper, and he ended up getting on the starting lineup or the opening day roster, I should say. And I think from here, it's incumbent upon him to stay there. And we always talk about it every single day of players coming in here. It's tough to get to the NHL, but it's tougher staying there. And again, I think he's got his head around on what he needs to do, and hopefully he has a long, successful career.
Did you see any impact style in the vernacular last night?
Yeah, I did. I ended up watching, I think the first period and a half. I didn't watch the last half of the game, but I thought they started well. I thought they had really good opportunities, and I thought they played like a team that was together for a while. I thought they did a good job. Hey, Eric, happy birthday, fella. I heard it was your birthday, right?
Yeah, yesterday I joined the ranks of the retirement age at 55, so now I can get the senior discount.
Awesome, fella. Happy birthday.
Any questions on
Thanks,
Zoom?
Coach.
Any questions on Zoom? Jake, go ahead.
Hey Brad, Jake here. Say, Bemidji State, they're notoriously known for playing a defensive game. What makes it so challenging to try and get offense against them? Well,
You're faced with another layer every time you have a puck touch, whether you're breaking out a puck or neutral zone transition, there's a guy in your face. You know, they reload, they have good structure, they reload, and every time that you try to, advance a puck or get up the ice with it, there's a guy you have to beat. And I think sometimes the games don't look the prettiest when both of our teams play against each other, but because there's a lot of high energy and a lot of compete. And I think it's one of those things where, we talked about it today, you have to know the next play. And if there isn't a next play because of what they're doing, then we just have to, live another day and advance a puck and put pressure on them. So, it's going to be a game of inches out there, and we're going to have to make sure that we have the mentality to do that, to keep advancing pucks.
Nick, go ahead.
Hey, Coach, how big was it to have some of those younger players really get involved early on, especially scoring goals?
Huge. When you look at kind of what we lost last year and the analytical side of the offensive side, it was hugely important not only to have our young forwards involved, but our decor involved in scoring too. Like, it's tough to score as a forward, but you have to have the D-man join in the rush and in the O-zone to give yourself a chance to score some 5-on-5 goals. So again, situation here where, everybody, it's going to be scoring by committee for us to have success here.